Hello everyone, my name is Chief Landless and welcome back to another Destiny news video. Now I know I haven't done too many of these, that is why I'm going to be doing an overview video. I want to get a base foundation layer so we guys all have a common understanding of what Bungie's next game Destiny is going to be like. So I'm going to be doing an overview, going over some of the main important pieces about Bungie's next game. If you guys want to know all the stuff we knew prior up to this in more detail, my friends More Console and Green Skull from Ready Up Live are the places to go. They've been covering the news like crazy. Go check out their channels. They've covered up everything from every little bits and pieces up until this point. So now for what I have for you guys is going to be the overview, so I have a base foundation layer, and then we can move on to all those breaking news so I can cover them for you guys, and hopefully we all have a base understanding of what Bungie's next game is. So I think I've said that too many times. Let's dive on into what is Destiny. Destiny is Bungie's next big project after handing over Halo over to 343 Industries and still remaining in the controls of Microsoft. So now Bungie's project is free of Microsoft's grasp. They are no longer a console exclusive developer, so they're going to be providing this game to many other platforms. I covered that in a previous video, but I'll touch upon that in a moment here. So yes, they have the ability to make this project huge. And seriously, when I say huge, that seems like an understatement because they've stressed many times this project is going to last over 10 years. So however they're going to do that, iterations, sequels, DLC content, that is up to them. But let's dive on into more what Destiny is, because this thing is massive and it just doesn't end there. It's been described as a shared world shooter and mistakenly labeled as an MMO sometimes. And Bungie has stressed that the fact that it is not an MMO. They've actually jokingly classified it as a Bungie MMO. It is described more like an MMO FPS, like as a plan to redefine the FPS genre, so much like they did with the Halo trilogy, where that was a big cornerstone in console first-person shooters. This is going to have similar aspects to MMOs, but it's obviously going to be different with Bungie's new spin on it. This game is going to allow you for solo or group play, so you can play it by yourself, play it with groups, and since it's an open shared world with matchmaking aspects in it, people are going to be able to come and go. You can group up with friends, or you can just play along by yourself. It's going to have no subscription fee, unlike many other MMOs. It's also going to have no main menu, so you are just going to be able to jump right on in. As of right now, Destiny is going to be available to PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 4, and we're all eagerly awaiting an announcement for the next generation console from Xbox, whether or not Destiny will be a part of that. But everyone is just looking at the fact that it's most likely going to be available for the Xbox 720, Xbox Infinity, Xbox Durango, or the Xbox, whatever name they do call the next generation console. There is no word on PC yet. IGN may or may not have a typo yet. They have no word whether or not they're going to put PC availability for Destiny, but they said they would like to in one of those mail sacks from a while ago. In true Bungie fashion, there's going to be multiple modes that you're going to be able to play Destiny, and one of them they've obviously stressed is that there is going to be a multiplayer competitive mode component, so player versus player. It won't be forced upon you, but it's obviously assuming that both parties must agree to duel or challenge other Guardians, and I'll get on to what Guardians are later on. They've also said that Destiny is going to be welcomed to all skill levels, so somehow it's going to be somewhat tailored. Some people always worry about that word when it's welcome to all skill levels, but I'm hoping that Destiny and Bungie do this right. Some other facts before we move on to the story mode components and other characters that we do know so far. Marty O'Donnell is back for the soundtrack, famous for the Halo trilogy with Bungie, and he's also combining up and collaborating with Mike Salvatore and Paul McCartney. Yes, Sir Paul McCartney. That just blows my mind. So now we have a little bit of an idea of what Destiny has. We need to describe what Destiny sort of is from the story aspect. It's going to be set place in the future, obviously, on a post-apocalyptic Earth after a golden age as described by Bungie. Earth has conquered every planet in its solar system and then crushed and pushed back by some unknown force, making them retreat even on their own planet Earth. Then all of a sudden, a mysterious orb that we've seen in many wallpapers and screenshots and stuff like that, called the Traveler, shows up, saves, protects them somehow from this force, and it hovers over the last great city on Earth, protecting it. Now, with all these locations that we kind of just mentioned here, we're going to be able to play in multiple areas on Earth and pretty much every planetary body in our solar system, which makes me wonder, is Pluto going to be included? I hope so. So now we're in this post-apocalyptic setting, protected underneath the Traveler, and we are now finally able to and ready to explore the areas that we used to conquer in our solar system, but now only to discover that there's something else out there. We are not alone, and some evil forces have been sort of taking over the planets in our solar system. So what does this mean now? We obviously have to fight back against these evil creatures, some mysterious force perhaps that made us crush and retreat back. So we have to venture on out, and in order to do that, there's going to be multiple vehicles, and I should also mention, you're going to have your own personal spacecraft, which sounds awesome, and they also hinted at space gameplay, but we do not know how we're going to fly from place to place. Maybe it's a cutscene, or maybe we actually will have the ability to physically fly from place to place, planet to planet. That'd be awesome, and hopefully it doesn't take years like kind of NASA always says how long it takes to get to Mars. Now, character customization is a huge component in today's video games, and Bungie is ensuring us that we'll have tons of tools and options to pick from when customizing our Guardian, and odds are we'll probably never bump into a Guardian that looks exactly like you, because there's so many choices to pick from. Bungie even just recently stated that Destiny will have more guns than all the Halo games combined, and that's just guns. Can you imagine all the possibilities for armor and other things like that? They've already stated that hunters will have capes, and we'll move on to that in a moment. So obviously once you pick your Guardian, you're gonna have to pick a few things once you start off. Your gender, are you gonna be male or female? Then you have 3 races so far to pick from. You can either pick and be a human, obviously uncomplicated, they're relatable, we know what humans are like. You can pick from the Awoken, which is described as exotic, beautiful, and mysterious. They've been modeled after elves, vampires, ghosts, and angels, the mysterious kind of fantasy-like race. Then we have Exo, which is sinister, powerful, and tireless creatures. They've been modeled after such things as the Undead, Master Chief, and the Terminator. So once you've picked those, you still have to pick a few more things down the road. You have to pick from 3 classes so far at the moment. Titan, which has been described as the future soldier, again modeled after such characters like Master Chief. You can pick from a Hunter, which has been described as the Bounty Hunter, modeled after such figures like Han Solo from Star Wars. And then you can pick from a Warlock, which is described as a space wizard, obviously related to maybe Gandalf and Jedis. Now, once you've picked from those selections, there's still more customization. You have to pick from a faction, and so far there's 5 to pick from right now. Dead Orbit, New Monarchy, Osiris, Seven Seraphs, and Future War Cult. And there's no word what these factions actually do, it just maybe represents what sort of team you may be belonging to. We know very little about the weapons so far, but they have described a few things for us. There will be pistols, assault rifles, sniper rifles, and other weapons like that. They've also given a few names to some weapons out there. Some of those include Thorn, Pocket Infinity, and Super Good Advice. So these names sound very creative and fun. And Bungie has described the fact that weapons are like the swords in their game. Now, what good is a weapon unless you have something to shoot at? And now we're going to be moving on to the enemies that Bungie has already unveiled to us right now. We have a few so far. We have the ones called the Hive, which are space-like zombies. They look kind of creepy there. We also have the Fallen. We have seen many times they're like spider-like pirates with 4 arms. We've often seen them with some swords as well. So maybe there will be actual swords as weapons to choose from in this game. There's also the Vex, which are time-traveling robots, which kind of seems unfair. Hopefully they can't time travel too much. And we also have the Cabal right now, which are described as rhino-like beasts, just massive hulking enemies. Unfortunately, all good things come to an end. This concludes my overview of Bungie's next game, Destiny, but hey, the fun has just begun. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. This is all the information out of a brief overview as of recording May 9th, 2013. Any new news you'll see on future videos on my channel. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to leave a like or a favorite, it does greatly help out my channel. Subscribe if you haven't already for obviously more Destiny news in the coming, and Halo, and obviously some other videos out there of video games that I do see fit. Please stay tuned for May 21st when Microsoft has their next generation console reveal. If Bungie decides to show up there, I'll definitely bring you guys the details. And if not, we'll just have to wait till E3. My name is Chief Landless, and I'm signing out.